question was, what would I recommend against the London? So personally myself, the London, okay, knight of 6. Let's say e3 in this position. Some people, they go for this e6, bishop d6. This is one of the main lines. I go for the other main line. There are two main lines. I go c5 here typically. Then usually they go c3, knight c6. If they try to gobble up this pawn, I go e5. I grab the center with a tempi and win the pawn back, so taking on c5 makes absolutely no sense. And here people either choose between knight f3, which is the inaccurate way to play it, and knight d2, which is the accurate way to play it. Not too many people know the difference. Hey, Master at Luck Games, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you back. Nice to see you back. By the way, to those who don't know who Henrik is, how on earth do you not know who Henrik is? He is our fellow. Yo, Henrik, when's our sub battle happening? What do you think of this Saturday or Sunday? So it's a Swedish chess streamer. I think is very nice. It's very nice to watch him because he's very charismatic, in my opinion. Very happy and optimistic guy. It's a pleasure to watch him. Mostly of course. I know you go c5. You crushed muted. Now I see, Jerry, and this is one of the ways you can play against it. So knight f3 is the more common way to play, and also the worst way to play. Here queen b6 is incredibly strong. The threat is to take on b2. Now if b3 or something, it's a slight weakness in the black position. You can go, you can take on d4 and go bishop f5. Maybe knight b4 to c2 is an idea, I don't know. Black is a bit better, not much, a little better. Queen b3 is what most people play. Queen c2 is the worthy alternative to this move. Maybe some sound alerts you can get rid of. Sound alerts? Do I have some? Maybe Ismail, do I have sound alerts? Maybe I do. I mean, I probably do, since I think you checked, right? Saturday sounds good to me too, Henrik. Yeah, I think Saturday will work perfectly here as well. Then I think we have a plan, Henrik. Then I think we are men with... I wanted to make the rhyme, a man with a plan, but then I said we are men with plans, and I realized you cannot really make plan in plural into plans, yeah? Doesn't work this way, English. Okay. Queen c2 here, g6 with the idea of bishop f5 is my recommendation. There is some theory here and you need to know a little bit, but how does all of it go again? I mean, there is some queen b3 here, I believe. Or is it pawn takes c5 first and then queen b3? Or how does this work? I think knight d2. And if bishop f5, there is an argument to queen b3 in this position. And bishop g7 is the most accurate move, and then you castle and play for bishop f5 with a decent position. Though most people go queen b3, and this gives black a very comfortable endgame actually. Probably afternoon if you can, so the people from the States can join. Afternoon, nice. I'll try to make it happen, Henrik. Not sure, I mean, my streaming schedule, I typically stream quite early on when it comes to Saturday, so I'll have to be creative with how I could stream in the afternoon. That's a tough one. Here c4 is the correct way to play. If queen c2, there is a very good move in this position. I'll put it up as a tactic. What do you think is the best move in this position, guys? Black is a very good move in this position. That makes this variation with an advantage for black. Exactly, Jerry, and you get it. Sacrificing a bishop, but if the bishop is taken, you take on b2. Later taking on a1, and you've won an exchange, since the rook on a1 and the pawn on b2 you've gotten for the f5 bishop. So here queen c1 is the move, and here I figured that at some point at knight h5 to win the bishop pair is the most accurate move. And that's all you need to know here. Queen takes b6, pawn takes b6. All you need to know is you want to play b5 to b4. Then you want to go bishop f5, then you want to go e6, bishop e7, castle, and you will have a very pleasant position. So the idea of b5, b4 is to later take on c3, and if the knight ever goes to d2, there could be some bishop a3 to b2 motives. I've had very many games where it seems very simple, but it's been very effective. And now to knight d2, which is the other move. Here there are very many alternatives for what black can play. Recently I've looked a lot at bishop g4 as something that can be played in this position. Knight g3, you play e6, later bishop e7 and castle. Now queen b3, you have to be a bit cautious with how you meet this. I think I've been leaning towards queen c8 in the later times. Then sometimes people go bishop b5 and try to be a bit tricky. But I think with some caution it should be fine. So some caution is needed in this position. Maybe some c4 at some point. the most people don't even know. If they go bishop e2, which most people will, just bishop e7, you castle, and in fact, black is a little bit better since you have a bit more space in the center. Yeah, d5, c5 pawn contra c4, d4 pawn. So this is my recommendation against the London, to play the c5 knight c6.